Today I'm going to demonstrate how to use the visualizer to see gang-related events and other information. The visualizer is a link analysis tool used to visualize links between entities such as people, events, cases, gangs, incidents, etc. This demo will show the visualizer with case closed software. However, it can be used to analyze any data such as your RMS system, your phone call logs, credit card transactions, or any other data source that you use within your agency. To begin with, Case Closed Gang module consists of a Windows-based application, which you're looking at now, and a web-based application for the outside agencies. This is our gang web interface, and this is used again by the outside agencies. And then our in-house for the hosting agency, this is our case closed software and the gang module over here on the right hand side. So over here on the left hand side is where we're going to launch the visualizer, and I already have the visualizer opened. So let's open up the visualizer, and this is the screen. So let's first look at, because this demo is going to be related to gangs, but you can analyze any data and you'll see how that works. But let's go ahead and let's look at the outlaw gang. So we'll click on Get Entity, and we'll type in Outlaws. We'll pull that gang up. And there's the gang, and if we hit the plus sign, we can see the links of everything related to this gang. Now this is a person. She's a rejected other type of member. And this is a phone numbers that are linked to this gang, and this is events that are linked to this gang. Now, in case closed gangs, we track events, members, and scars, marks, tattoos, and all that other key stuff. But this is some of the data that's in the case closed. So we look at Jackie, for example. We can expand on Jackie, and we can see Jackie's related to this address. She's related to this case, and so on. She's a co-defendant in this case number. In this case, she's a victim, and so on. So you can see how you can continue to expand and see the relational links between people and entities, whether it's an address, a case, an incident, and so on. She's a complainant in this incident, and you can expand this incident and see more about that incident. So we can really get beyond what I'm going to cover today. So we're going to stay with the gang related, but I just want to show you that she is related to this gang, the Outlaws, and then you can expand from there. Okay. Let's look at the N13 gang. So we'll get this one manually. There's other ways to do this. You can grab all your data if you want, but I've got quite a few in here, so we'll choose M13, and this is the gang there, and there's the related information for this particular gang. So the M13 gang, you can use these tools over here on the right to scroll through. You can also choose a different format. If you want a circular format, you can certainly do that. And then if you want to fit the page, there's several different options here, so you can see the whole gang on one screen. You can move that around if you want to. Let's zoom in on a couple aspects of this. So I can use my navigator over here on the right, and I can scroll around and I can see everything related to this gang. We'll go back to the incremental format for a second. Okay, so I've got events, and this is a police protest. If you expand on that, it'll show you where it occurred at, because it's a link to an address. There's again phone numbers, people. Fraser Crane is a confirmed member. You have Kelvin right here is a confirmed member, and as I highlight them, you see that the labels are highlighted to show you as well. So we got Francatone, and if I expand him, he's related to several different other entities, addresses, and cases and charges. He's a defendant. He's got a cousin here. Pac-Man Jones is a cousin of Frank. You also notice that there's a couple other people up top here that are related to this gang. For example, Pamela Davis is a confirmed member. So you can expand her and see information about her. But let's see the Pamela. Let's look at the links between Pamela Davis and we'll go down here to maybe Pac-Man Jones. And if I highlight them both, I can come over here to visualize, and I can show all the paths between Pac-Man Jones and Pamela Davis. And you see all the red lines, and I'm going to just scroll for you. It shows you all the connections to that can be made between Pac-Man Jones and Pamela Davis. You can also click on the show shortest path, and it'll highlight just the shortest path, which happens to be Pac-Man Jones is a cousin of Frank Catone, and Frank Catone is linked to the M13 as a member, confirmed member, and then Pamela Davis is a confirmed member. So that's how the connections are made. Now, if you wanted to, you can export what's highlighted here to a different window, and you can then just look at those two connections by themselves. Okay, so you can move things around. We'll expand Pamela. Then you'll see that Pamela over here is linked to the M13, and so is now. If I brought over Frank Catone, who's a member of the M13, it would link him as well. Okay, so you can see how you can expand, how you can create links, you can find hidden links, you can find one person, how they're connected to another person or another entity. So you can find out relationships with addresses, vehicles, phone numbers. If you pull in your phone number list, you can look at phone number call logs and see this person's been calling this person and so on. Okay. Now another thing you can do, there's several things here. If you open up you have a lot of data. There's ways to declutter the data that you're seeing on your screen. And I've got a few other visualizers open here. So let's look at this one, for example. This is the gangs, M13 gangs, but it's a different view in a circular view. But once it starts getting too busy, you can declutter it by putting filters. So maybe you only want to see related addresses or cases or events or the gangs, and you don't want to see these other entities. You can start uncluttering. If you don't want to see phone numbers, unclutter it. If I click the phone number, you'll notice some of this stuff in the back will disappear, and now all the phone numbers are gone. So you can really drill down and analyze this in a variety of ways. And then you can also set relationships, filter it by relationships. So you say, okay, I only want to see confirmed members. So you can just enable the relationship and it'll limit it to only confirmed members. Okay. So there's several options there. One thing I want to show you is, and we can zoom in a little bit on this. Okay. One thing I want to show you is if we let's collapse her links, and let's collapse Frank's links, so we can kind of get this in a little bit bigger screen. Okay. All right. So this is the M13 gang, and you see here's all the different members, confirmed associates, and so on. You can use the timeline feature, which time range is down here. If I enable this timeline feature, what it does is you can set, first of all, you set your time span. So I've got it, several years here. You can span it over a year, 6 months, 1 month. And as you move this timeline, you will see how the relationships are created or how the gang organization has been developing over a period of time. So I'm looking at 4-year period, and you can see as I scroll how the members start associating with the gang and how it builds over a period of time. Okay. Now I've got just some dummy data, and I've also got some wide date ranges here. So you can it's a nice little tool to show you how over a period of time a gang has evolved. Okay. The other thing you can do is if you link on addresses, for example, we'll expand. Let's see if I've got this one. We'll expand on some of these addresses. Here's an address. Here's an address, and so on. And here's an address. So what you can do is you can go out to Google Earth, and it'll map out all those addresses. So this is a very small example, so it's not going to be as beneficial, but for example, if you're looking at call logs, phone records, it'll show you all the addresses of the phones that, where they've been placing calls at. Okay, so here you got Pamela Davis's address there, and you got Frank Catone and Pamela both associated with an address down in Florida. Again, this is a very simple example, but you can, if you're using this for credit card transactions or call logs, you can see where the credit card transactions occurred at what stores over a geographical area. Okay, so we do interface with the Google Maps. I'll show you one other item here. We'll click on the M13. We'll click on this person, and we'll send him out to a different window. And then one other option you can do, this is Frank, you can see his relationships. You can go to a 3D view, and you can scroll this around in a 3D look. You can also rotate the Y and X axis and the Z axis if you want to do that as well. And you can set the speed. You can just let it play itself, so it kind of gives you a three-dimensional view, okay, on the relationship of in this case, Frank Catone, but it could be a gang, it could be anything, any entity. I just want to show that to you. So this is a quick overview of link analysis tool, and you can really drill down. It's very powerful to find hidden connections, hidden links, and you can copy all of this out to an Excel file. You can send it via email. There's lots you can do with the output of this. If you need any more information, feel free to call Case Closed Software. You can visit our website at caseclosedsoftware.com, and we'll be glad to do a demo. Again, this can be used for any data set. We just happen to show you against our gang module.